Hi folks, this is Darren with My RV Works. We sure do get a lot of questions from comments from the videos that we make, and I really am enjoying answering those questions for folks. Now this one, sometimes I struggle with your tag, your title, your handle, um, web name. I'm not avatar, there's a name. Anyway, this one is DJ Tama Drummer. DJ Tama Drummer. So I'm going to go with that. That's what it says right here. Now, what they're going to be doing is they have they want to install a new Dometic water heater. Now, the current water heater in their RV is a 6-gallon, and they want to install a 10-gallon. And they say that there's plenty of room to do such, and do I have any problems, or what might they run into? And so we're going to do something a little fun on this video. We're going to go through the manual together, but some of the things I want to point out right away: make sure you order a door. The doors don't automatically come with the part number, so you're going to order the water heater and then you're going to order a door. It's two separate purchases that you need to order together. They don't automatically come with a door. The other thing to watch out for is when you take out that 6-gallon, the plumbing fittings on the tank itself, they're female, and you screw a male fitting into it. When you get your new tank, the plumbing fittings are male, and you got to screw a female on it. So your genders change on the water heaters from the 6-gallon that you currently have to the new 10-gallon. Not only do they change their gender, but they change their orientation. So your Dometic 6-gallon, you have the hot output on the top and the cold infeed on the bottom. On these Dometic, the new ones, they're side by side. Okay, so you're gonna have to do some, so just plan accordingly when you get your water heater that your plumbing lines might need to change. The other thing, because we've done quite a few of these, your LP line, your gas line, that's gonna be coming in a little bit higher and a little bit of a different bend. And if you just try to bend that copper, you might kink it, and that's not good. So what I usually use is one of those little, you put your copper pipe in, it's got the handle, and you bend it a little bit slightly. So just go in eyes wide open, knowing that you're going to have to make some modifications to your LP line, and your plumbing line is going to be different, okay? Now, what I want to do now is something we haven't done before, and this will be the first time we do that. So if you've watched this years from now, we've probably got a bunch of them, but we're going to go through the manual together. Now, right below me, in the description down below, and probably here on the video here, I'm going to give you a web link, a hyperlink that you can click on, and that's going to bring you directly to the Dometic site, directly to the installation manual for this water heater that you're wanting to install, okay? But what I want to do right now is go through the manual together, pointing out a couple things that I want to draw your attention to. So you can click the link below and to get the manual, but let's go through this manual together, okay? Here we go. Now, when you follow that link, you're going to get a manual like this, and this would be your installation manual for your water heaters. Here, they list the different manuals here. Down on page 7 is where the action starts for you. So you have all this warning information, general information, and it's good to know where they generate their part numbers from and all this kind of stuff. So there's page 6. So starting on page 7 is the part where they're going to discuss the rough cutouts right here. So if you had a 6-gallon, this would be the information right here that your hole may or may not be, and this is going to be the rough cutout. So it's the cutout width, not the width of the water heater, but the width of the cutouts. And now the thing that I want you to point out here is the sides here, because they do talk about right here a distance. You need to have, it's not enough just to have this hole this size. You also need to make sure that it's at least 3 inches from on the sides and 12 inches from the top from something that might be combustible. So it's not enough just to make the thing fit. Give me a freaking hacksaw and I can make the thing fit, but there's more to it than that. So you really need to pay attention to your tops and your sides and your blocking here. Take a second to read about this to get your blocking. It talks about 6 inches, 2x2, and the length of 6 inches. And the other thing that I don't see a lot of people do when they put in a new water heater is you need to support the back of the water heater even with the front lip right here. We get called in on new water heaters that leak because they didn't support the back. They didn't do this piece right here. And as the RV is moving around, the thing's jostling around and it's full of water. And now you've got stress points here. So I want you to make sure that you do this too. So just follow the manual here. We'll go through it real quick. When you get down here, the gas line, they're going to talk about this grommet right here. I've seen a lot of people that do their water heaters, but they do not install this grommet according to the NFPA code. What is that, 1192, I believe? They do talk about anything combustible needs to stay outside of the RV. So here you have combustion, and they don't want that gaining access into your RV. So there is a grommet. Do pay attention to that. Then they're going to get into your control switches and your wiring. They'll have some diagrams down here if you're going to convert from an old switch to the new switch. They want you to have 18 gauge wiring on these things. Then they're going to get into a little bit more about the 120 volt wiring, and then they want you to apply the sealant around the outside. So take some time, review this manual, and I think that you'll have a very successful installation of your water heater. Now, as we go on down through this manual, one of the things that I enjoy looking at is what the manufacturer recommends for maintenance and care. Down here, they're going to talk about what I call a black flush, what do they call it? Maintaining the water heater, winterizing the unit. Hold on, it's down here. I've seen it. Okay, flushing the tank, reestablishing. I call it a pillow of air or a burp test is what this part right here is. They give you the procedures on how to do that. Flushing the tank is there, and that we don't have. I don't think you have the EXT module, which is pretty efficient actually. How to get rid of unpleasant odors. So, and then these are things that your typical RV tech would be trained on, but this is where RV techs need to get the information from. Just take a second, read this manual. Like I said, it's linked to the video. Wiring diagrams if you need to do any kind of diagnosis and everything. And then it goes on into your language of choice as it keeps on going. So what I want you to do is click the link below the description of this video and familiarize yourself with this manual. And take a second to review it. Do it when you're using the bathroom or something. I don't know, but do take a second to review this because there's some really good information in here. We want to make sure you do a good install. Okay, so that was kind of fun. I hope that added value to you by going through that manual. A lot of people say, well, gee, Darren, how'd you get to know so many things about these RV things? Well, maybe I'm a nerd, but I was an engineer for 30 years doing other things, and then I started doing this, so maybe I bring that. But you know what it really is? It's that I read the manuals, and I really enjoy reading the manuals because that is the secret sauce on really how to do things the right way, not the guessing way, or not the way that I was trained by the guy that's been doing it for 15 years who learned from this guy, and you get all this bad information filtered in. Me, I go straight to the manual and I read those manuals. I read a lot of manuals, and I think that's the big difference that might separate me from an average kind of guy, is that I just read the manual. So that's why I wanted to take the time to go through the manual and point out to you some of the things that I would be looking at, and why we charge what we charge and why we do what we do is because I'm the one that read the manual. So you guys can read manuals too, and you'll learn just everything I know, and you'll exceed everything that I've ever learned by reading manuals and getting out there and doing it. So I hope this was helpful. If this was valuable to you, give us a thumb up, subscribe to our channel. If you like this kind of a content, share it with your friends so you can support us. And hey, happy campers, say my RV works. So until the next video, this is Darren signing off. Thanks for watching.